Welcome to SessionWell. My name is Adam Luke.
I'm Judy Ann.
And we are the SessionWell podcast. Why do you care? Well, SessionWell is a place whether you're a pre-licensed clinician, a licensed clinician, or an everyday Joe, and you want to learn more about therapy, interventions we use, or stuff how to grow yourself during your daily life. That's why we're here.
Oh, thank you for joining us, and thanks to my brother as usual at Kira Studios. If you guys need marketing and client lead generations, websites, anything of that, you can just call him or text him at Kira Studios.
So we have a pretty cool person with us this week. We say that most weeks, but this one I've actually had a relationship with, so that's kind of cool. So anyways, who are you?
I'm Daniel Verdugo. I am a marriage and family therapist trainee at Straight Talk Counseling in La Mirada. I am a student at Hope International University's Marriage and Family Therapy program. Should I just keep going?
Please.
You're grad assistant.
Grad assistant for Hope International University's Marriage and Family Therapy program. I sit on the Delta Kappa Honor Society committee, planning the events and everything for the program. And that's a few of my hats. A few of my hats right there.
So we wanted him to be here in this process because we always love to talk to clinicians during all parts of their journey. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we're going to talk about. I can't wait for the topic when we get there. But why did you ever want to be a therapist?
Well, I kind of actually knew I wanted to be a therapist since I was probably around 16, actually. All right. Very early. I played basketball in high school. You know, I really wanted to actually play basketball in college, like something in sports. And, you know, I kind of started to slowly realize, like, yeah, basketball was fun. It was a passion of mine, but I did really enjoy sitting down with, whether it was family members, friends, teammates, listening to them, a lot of stuff they were going through, and it felt good to me. And just like slowly, like few signs, I kind of noticed, like, not so much I was like some Yoda type of wisdom person, like they wanted to hear what I had to say, but the listening part of it, just like letting them talk about what's going on. And that felt good. That felt natural. And I actually kind of shifted my mindset to where, like, this makes me happy. I could do that. Yeah. Not that, like, and plus I'm like 5'9" and Mexican, so there's not a lot of 5'9" Mexicans in the NBA. Kind of started to realize. I know. I mean, I could have been the first, but I think I might have had a better route towards therapy, and it's working out, thankfully. So that was kind of, since high school, that's all I've been working towards. Went to Hope with intention to do the marriage and family therapy program. Wow. So Hope was the only school I applied to. Thankfully, thank God, got into Hope. That worked. Got into the MFT program. Thank God that worked. And now I'm graduating in December.
Wow.
Well, I'm excited to have you here too because we've been getting a lot of messages, whether through Instagram or, you know, all our different platforms. And a common question we're getting is, one, what is an MFT program like as a student? What are some of the struggles? How do you get through it? How do you do school full time and see clients for the first time? And then also your other lives, your other jobs. Yeah. And so that's kind of cool because we oftentimes have our guests, it's usually after the program. Yeah. And so I think we've only had one other trainee. And so it's cool to have you here, especially since you're so close to being done with the program and just kind of sharing your knowledge and your wisdom with us. So we're excited to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm excited. And did you want me to...
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, honestly, like what you were setting up, the MFT program, it's a journey. It's a journey of it's a journey of self-discovery, a journey of really learning about yourself. And but it's so rewarding, especially for me when I started seeing clients. Starting to just utilize my natural skills that I've learned through my classes. You know, of course, you have bumps in the road. You're learning as you go. Every client, every session, every class, you're slowly learning a little bit more. But the best way I always put it to, especially when we as grad assistants talk to incoming students, it's really nothing to be scared about. It's nothing to, you know, everyone's a therapist in this program. So everyone naturally cares. You can talk to anyone. But it's really just a giant program of self-discovery as far as who you are and how you can have an impact on other lives and make a difference. And it's a beautiful thing. I love it.
Was there ever a moment when you talk about your journey of sort of self-discovery, was there any like aha moments of like, oh, that was something I didn't really I hadn't let come to the surface just quite yet.
Yeah, I mean, especially when, you know, you do various things like a genogram, which is basically...
we're all like,
everyone's all
family organ.
Lifespan development class.
Yes.
Wes Beavis, great class.
Yeah.
We cried a lot in that
Kick
class.
you in the chest.
It kicks you in the ass emotionally.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's basically just a giant family tree assignment is the way I looked at it. And it's emotional, especially because as in that class with that assignments where you're looking at, you know, your whole family who was an alcoholic, who was a smoker, who went through abusive relationships and stuff like that. And you kind of dissect yourself a little bit more and kind of come to a realization like, wow, first I didn't know this about the pattern in my family. And even some connections that shows, the genogram shows, it makes you wonder, like, has that affected me this whole time and I didn't even really know it?
Yeah.
And for me, that one I felt awkward to do at first because I grew up with a single mom. And she was a teen mom, 15 years old. And it's been me and her. We lived with my grandparents for most of my life. And my small moment of insecurity before that assignment happened was not being able to do the other half, like my dad's side. And that I kind of was a little bit hesitant to go into it at first because I didn't really want to talk about that. But it was good. I was actually really, it was rewarding for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That assignment, I think, is so powerful too because, like, I think sometimes that assignment puts literally the mirror on, like, the unhealthy patterns that have transmitted from generation to generation, and healthy ones too. And so it is interesting to see, okay, well, does addiction run in our lives? Or maybe if you're not an addict and you're like, oh, I didn't pass that on, but what if it's something like conflict with a certain person, or the way we deal with conflict, or divorce, or cheating, or having, you know, I don't know, whatever it might be, but it's such a, like, here to the whole class, like, here is my entire family tree, and then I think it does check yourself of, like, okay, yeah, some people didn't have maybe the other side, or they had lost one of their parents, or they just noticed that there was so many disconnections in just pockets of family, and I think it's such a vulnerable and exposing assignment, but it can be very helpful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Plenty of people cried, especially.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think everyone cries in that class a little bit.
Yeah. You can't go into something like that thinking that you're not going to get emotional or you're not going to cry.
Yeah.
Because if you do manage to somehow get through it by not crying or showing emotion, you didn't do the assignment. You know? Actually, and that's the thing with genograms is they don't discriminate, and it's not even about you. But when you can sit there and look through, I love how you put it to like a tree, when you look through the branches and you're like, wow, this is a behavior that has passed through generations. And maybe at one point it was healthy for a generation. Maybe they had to fight hard to be here. Maybe they had to fight hard to stake their claim, per se.
Yeah.
But then we're no longer in that mindset. Yet we still use fear to dictate what we're going to do or where we're going to go in life. So, thank you for bringing that.
Of course, yeah. That's one of the most vulnerable assignments, at least I've experienced throughout the MFT program, is that one. But it's good. It's rewarding.
Have you taken EMDR yet?
Yeah, we took EMD. I did EMDR this summer.
Oh,
that was
okay.
another one.
I was like, that one's like...
That was another exhausting one, but we made it through.
There you go.
It was good, though.
So how have you gone, like, how do you make it through the program? Like, with, you know, you have relationships, you have family, you have your own personal self-care, you have homework, you have client. Like, how do you get through it all?
I mean, I could... Surface level, I'll say, and I'll break it down more. Time management, especially for me, is big, but it's also humongously important to me is the mindset to do all of that, because I've gotten in a good / bad habit of making all-nighters normal. So yeah, it's not healthy. But, you know, like you said, like, I go to work and then I'll shower real quick, go see clients for 4 to 5 hours, and then do grad assistant work. It's additional stuff that probably a chunk of people in the MFT program don't go through. So for me, I have to be my biggest cheerleader. I have to not look at everything that I'm doing as, oh, here we go with this. Like, here's my week, here's every day. Instead of that, I have to shift my brain to thinking, like, look at these opportunities that I have. And when you start seeing clients, you know, the schoolwork is still there. The classrooms are still there, and you have those responsibilities. And yes, I have my relationships with my family, my girlfriend, my friends, who I still want to see, who play a big role in me getting through all that. And it's, like I said, it's really a big thing as far as like just cheering myself on every day with everything that I'm doing. And for me, the mental aspect of it is the biggest, if not the biggest part of it, just to make it through.
And so that was the topic we were going to land on. So
Yeah.
please share with us
Yeah.
this mindset.
It's focusing more on like, you know, the positive aspect, just positivity in general, but really it could be so cliche and so easy to tell someone, oh, you just gotta be positive. You know, be positive to get through this. And it takes growth. For me, I wasn't always positive. You know, as a kid, I struggled with anxiety, and I was very emotional. I was a crier. I had attachment with my mom, you know, like when she leave, I get sad. Like, that's my mom. It's my best friend. And, you know, but as I got older, you know, obviously being around mostly adults my whole life, you get parentified. You become a little bit older than those your age. And you start to kind of pick up, for me at least, the struggles that, you know, whether it's your own parents, your family, older adults are going through. And I kind of just absorbed it, and I didn't want to go through those struggles they were going through, because they look sad. And I would hear my friends, like, you could see how you would see them in school, like they're sad of what their family's going through. And I started to pick up on that early. I was blessed to really slowly start to pick up on that, to where the mind is so powerful in everything you do. And that's what trajects you into like accomplishing your goals, you know, being the person you want to be. And that's pretty much been a slow growth, and kind of like what gets me through everything that I go through, and keeps my hustle strong as far as getting everything that I want, and to make an impact on others and be an example for that.
So when you say hustle, what does hustle mean to you?
Hustle applies to everything in life for me. I have goals. I have personal things that I want to get, that I want to do, as far as, especially as a therapist. Hustle is something that I think should be more spoken about, and it should be more, as far as, broken down in a way that everyone has a hustle in them. Some people aren't able to tap into that because of how they grew up, what things in life are holding them back, and some of them are excuses, people not wanting to give themselves a chance. And hustle stands as, for me, something that's never ending, something whether it's always wanting to learn something, always wanting to keep learning about life, accomplishing things, whatever that may be for everyone else. But it's a constant thing that I wake up and I know I need to hustle and see clients, get homework done, go take care of myself, which is something I don't give enough time to, especially right now. But it's just something that, for me, it's never not there.
So what I'm hearing you say,
sense.
It does. I just want to make sure I'm sort of taking it all in. So for you, hustle is always accepting challenges as opportunities.
Yes.
So it's allowing yourself to go into that process, regardless of where that process ends up. You're going to at least have stepped up to what that challenge was.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because when you embrace hustle, when you embrace the journey, when you embrace the opportunities that come with hustle, that makes your hustle even stronger. So my hustle, which has gotten me to this point, you know, being able to hustle my way into marriage and family therapy through the program, do well every day, try my best, people have seen that, and they've given me opportunities to be a grad assistant, given me opportunities to help out with the program, set up events, everything like that. So you have to take it. You have to go with the mindset, understanding that opportunities will come if you stay true to it. And, you know, I've got plenty more opportunities after graduation, which I'm so grateful about because of my hustle. And bet you, like, I'm definitely going to take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
Because I worked for it. And I had a great team behind me to help me, support me get to this point.
Where do you think your hustle, like, stems from? Do you feel like you were born with it? Do you feel like it was modeled to you? Do you feel like saw it from TV, or like where do you think it stemmed from?
I definitely think modeled as far as the people in my household and the music, my music preference that I love. Also with my family, I was raised primarily my mom and my grandma and grandpa. Now I kind of have, and I've told my girlfriend this. We kind of had recent discussion about this. I kind of have the best qualities of all three of them. My grandfather wakes up at 3:34 in the morning to go to work. He's he works at a hospital. He's transporting patients all day, and he's done that since I've been alive, since for 25 years. And so him doing that, he's not so much shares the wisdom, he just leads by example. My grandma has done things in her life as far as, going to college, being, I think, the first person in her family to go to college, have a great job working for the sheriff's department, and constantly trying to better herself and erase the stigma that comes with, at that time as she was coming up, that women can't be successful in the business world. They can't have an impact. And she's done well. She changed the game for our family as a whole, getting her own house and doing well in her career. And so that part is a small example of hustle. That's, with that. My mom is a walking example for me that's kept me going as far as like having me at 15 years old, and how that shifted her life from what she shared with me, trying to be a better person, a better mother, work hard in her career to set an example the best way that she can. And they all struggled, they all had their moments, they're human, and even then I learned from them. But they're examples of just like hard work, kind of me really starting to think about it, like they played huge in what I do, especially with them. And then music, I love hip-hop. I do. I love hip-hop. I love the messages that come with it, as far as, especially the artists that are more vulnerable, and they share what you have to do to make it out. Now, I was blessed in life. We lived in a middle-class, comfy home. As much as I wanted to be a rapper, I didn't feel like I could connect in certain ways, like Snoop or whoever you can list. But why not? To me, it was always like, why not adopt their mindset that they have? Like, there's power in that. And so since I was young, I took kind of like that way I approached life, trying to make it, and just got it and ran with it. Yeah. And it's been working. I've been doing well with it, I think. Yeah. So yeah, kind of think those are the biggest influence that have put me where I am today.
Can you share, I don't know if it's like you're able to do this, but can you share what a positive mindset actually sounds or looks like in your head?
Positive mindset, that takes work, because it's so easy to be negative in this world. That's a lot easier to do than really try to reframe how we view certain situations. And
because we market to negativity, right?
Exactly.
We market through ads, through social media, whatever it is, on what you don't have, what you need to be valuable, not that you have an intrinsic value, or that what you have is enough to create something, that you can't build with what you've got. You have to add on to it.
Exactly. And in our minds, and it's all connects mind, body, spirit for me, especially with having a positive mindset. You have a certain amount of space that you have in your mind, like 100% space. A majority of people fill it up mostly with negative. And that blocks their full potential that they could have as far as what they can do for themselves to impact others. And, a lot of times it happens early on in their life. It holds them back from being vulnerable, holds them back from taking opportunities. And what embracing a positive mindset is understanding, I went through this happened. And sometimes it's not so easy just to say that. Sometimes you need to get help, you need to get work on, especially with certain traumas, and I understand that completely. But it's also just that self-recognition of, no, I can do this. This happened to me, but it's possible for me to make it out and fill up that bar that I was explaining of more positive energy, positive juices, than instead of negative juices that's just fueling you every day and making you just dread life.
Yeah.
Every second of it. And embracing those that are trying to help you too. A lot of times people listen to more the negative people in their lives rather than those who really love them and want the best for them.
Isn't that the truth? If we run our lives based off of fear, regret, shame, or the words of individuals that didn't have our best efforts and, you know, centered to theirs, then that's a rough life to try to get there.
Exactly.
You know.
And a lot of times in life, the people that have something negative to say or something that hurts your feelings, that sticks with you longer. And someone can compliment you and say something beautiful about you. You don't hear that because that negative is so much louder, and you're taking that to heart so much more. When positives are trying to be thrown your way, we block those out because we're so hung up on just the negative parts of it. And what's important is saying screw that and embracing the positive, embracing the love that people are trying to help you with. And that's what helps me.
Yeah, I think the statistic isn't it for every one negative comment we hear, it takes like either 5 or 9 positives to counteract and not even erase, but minimize the impact of the negative.
Absolutely. That makes sense.
So what's that look like as a clinician when you're trying to use that with a client?
When trying to use that with the client, I mean, obviously, I try not to get so, you know, preachy and talkative, kind of like I am now. You know, it's of course, it's their session. Of course, you know, you want them to, you guide them to try to see that, you know, certain interventions, certain techniques that you're using. A lot of times, that's what I've discussed right now. That's kind of, I've done a lot of that with the kids that I see, a lot of high schoolers, because especially they come in and it's, well, my mom's saying this about me, the friends that I'm with, they're saying this about me. And, you know, the influence, especially at that age, is so impactful to them. Especially, and we'll just say high school, for example. That high school setting in itself is a world, their world. And you can't think of even fathoming, like, there is life outside of high school. And when just doing it with them, it's kind of like slowing them down. And really, like, understanding, like, okay, so-and-so says this, but you have so-and-so in your life that's trying to help you. Who are we giving more attention to? Who's there for us? But you care more about this. Why do we care more about that? And those are the moments that kind of stump my kids, and they're like, I don't know. And it's like slowing them down and kind of like just like putting it all out on the table and showing them, look who you're giving all your attention to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay that you are concerned about certain things in your life, you know, aware you care about your grades and everything like that. But look at the positives that are around you. And especially recently I watched your guys' interview with Jeff Ortiz. A man that just...
Love big, love white.
Oh my gosh, that man poops positivity. Just
every day.
Every day.
Poop everywhere.
Just poop everywhere, positivity. You know,
we love you, Jeff.
love Jeff. His ability, and he talked about reframing and everything, is finding the beauty in what I got. It's finding the beauty in the struggle. Because that's especially when working with kids, working with clients in general. In therapy itself is helping your clients find the beauty in their struggle. Yeah. And that line is actually from J. Cole. One of my favorite songs of his is "There's beauty in the struggle." Yeah. And I've carried that line. I think I have to at least mention that once, I think, with every client that I see. Yeah. Because a lot of times they don't want to see the beauty. They just see the pain that's present in front of them right now.
Yeah, we forget that this isn't an A to B conversation. This isn't where I am and then I'm going to have joy in B. No. In between, this isn't wasted time. This isn't wasted effort. There's something there, right? Like, it doesn't matter how bad life gets. You will probably have a smile or a laugh during that, right? Even I've sat with my individuals that go through major depression, and we talk about that. Of like, yeah, I get it, baseline, we are here, but you can laugh and you can smile with me at moments. And so it's not for a loss. Yeah. This adds up. And so even when we can use those small moments to bring light to what seems like this all-encompassing darkness, we have somewhere to go.
Exactly.
And so I think that's what people get lost with, the beauty in, I'm sorry, say that again?
The beauty in the struggle.
The beauty in the struggle is people who think that, well, this struggle is just pain. It's education. This is the tuition of life. You know, you got to pay it every day, but you get something from it.
Exactly.
And we all struggle. Like, none of us are, you know, like, struggle doesn't discriminate. Like, we all struggle.
Exactly.
And people have said before, the most successful people, there's no way you can be successful unless you've already struggled.
Yeah.
But it's trying to help them see. And it's hard to tell someone that when they're in pain, but to let them know that, you know, how can we utilize this pain and make it beautiful in a way? How can it work to your advantage? How can you be better because of it? And so I think that what you're saying, beauty in the struggle is, you know, like, yeah, like, that's a great reframe.
And struggle, pain, everything like that, that doesn't discriminate, especially when you have goals for yourself, when you really want to accomplish things in your life. That's life testing you. Or, you know, especially like, I'm Christian, I grew up in church and everything. What we say is that's the enemy's testing you. And the enemy's trying to see, can you make it to this? I'm going to try to break you. If you really want this, they're going to slowly try to break you throughout your journey. And that's where, especially when we're working with clients, is like letting them know, in therapy, yeah, like, we can make this better. But therapy, we don't want you in therapy forever. That's not the goal for our clients. We want them to be able to embrace when the enemy or life knocks them on their ass, can they get back up? And that's what we give them the strength to, is how to get back up. And in life, especially like you said beautifully, Judy, we're all going to struggle. Can we get back up? So many people don't get back up. I'm repeating that phrase. I love that phrase, though, because a lot of us are just stuck from where life knocked us down. And we were never able, we just stayed there because we were afraid of what happens when we try to get back up and do it again.
When some people get lost in the process of what does getting back up mean and look like. I always use with my clients, like, it can literally be crawling. Like, you don't have to get knocked on your ass and then stand back up and win the race. Like, crawl if you have to.
Exactly.
You know, if you got to push yourself in a mental wheelchair, do it. Whatever you have to do to keep going forward. And we get lost on, well, I'm not doing it as fast as everyone else. Or, you know, my rebound wasn't as great as everyone else. And it's like, well, that's not the purpose. They're living their life, you're living your life. You just have to find the purpose and happiness in your life.
Exactly.
Because I am slowly realizing this in my own life now. But once you have your own positivity, you're pretty much, I would say you're invincible. Why? Because my positivity doesn't rest off of, sorry, Judy, how you're doing or how you're doing. Or, you know, once you have your own positivity, man, is it hard for the world to take it away from you. But if you think you can purchase it or you can maintain it by world standards, you are going to have a very terrible time doing so.
Exactly. And it's also important to keep in mind where it's hard to hold on to your own positivity sometimes. Sometimes, you know, we fall, and especially as clinicians, what I've experienced throughout this year, sometimes I really don't want to do therapy. I don't feel like helping others. I've had that bad of a day where I really, like, at that day, I don't feel like helping you. And it's a moment of selfishness, and I really was hard on myself the first time that happened, and I kind of just had to, like, take a breath, calm down, understand where I'm at, and remind myself of the love that I have for my clients. And especially in this field, not everyone can do this. And it's not to put down any other profession, whatever they do. You know, we take on other people's pain. We're trying to keep ourselves up, keep ourselves positive, and then also match other people's pain and positivity. That's a lot. And sometimes it's exhausting. But that's why we have our, you know, spouses, close friends, you know, whoever in life that helps us get back up and refuel our positivity to, like, keep us going for a long time. You're pretty damn invincible when you kind of realize that. And when you recognize the people in your life that want you to succeed and be happy every day.
There you go.
And positivity doesn't have to be like the cliche, like, okay, just smile and, like, everything's fine. I think, like, what you're saying is, like, it's just in kind of what our other guest had said, Chris Williams, about it's moving the needle just a little bit. Like, to me, every time a client walks in, no matter how much pain they're in, it's like, let's celebrate that. You got your ass in here. I don't know how you got here, but, like, you did. However you got here, you still made it. And the fact that you're sharing the space with us for an hour, like, that's awesome. You know, I can't control what happens outside of here, but at least you had something in you that's positive that allowed you to come here. And it's just trying to constantly just do it one day at a time. Because it is going to be hard. But again, like, finding the beauty in the struggle. And I hope our whole motto is trust the process. Because it is like, life is a process. It's a journey. And all of our problems aren't going to just go away.
No.
Even though that'd be kind of nice.
You're right. It'll always be there. Something will always be there trying to test us.
So, for the viewers that are watching, what would be 3 takeaways that you would have for them in this conversation?
Start to recognize what you're holding as like a primary influence in your life, as far as positivity, as far as, you know, those that say, like, I'm not where I want to be, I can't do this is holding me back. I mean, yeah, it's easy to say just do it, but it's really taking an inventory and really recognizing your strengths and be open to opportunity, be open to those that want to help you get somewhere. And even if you've already been through something traumatic, negative, whatever the case may be, get back up. That's really the first, is just get back up. How can you get back up? Do you need to go to therapy? Great, go to therapy. Do you need to reconnect with someone that you might have, you know, kind of a rough relationship with, and just have that conversation to move forward? Have that. Just take inventory of what you need to get back up, feel better, and move forward in life. What is holding you back from staying stuck? Another one would be to understand how our pain, our tests that we go through in life, our traumas, but tests specifically, can become a testimony. A lot of times, like, we don't appreciate the fact that you've been through something. We've been through something, and how, if you really look at it, that can be a testimony to someone who's going through it right now. Everyone has the opportunity for them to say something to pick them up, and use it to inspire, use it in any way, even if you're not even on stage or as a therapist. Inspire at work. If you're in an office job, whatever the case, everyone can be an inspiration to help others. And then a third, keep the hustle strong. Keep the hustle strong. It's gonna be testing. People are gonna test you. Life is gonna test you. But if it's something you want, and no matter how you grew up, no matter what life dealt you in the beginning, you have the power to accomplish your goals, to make an impact, to be a voice, and to make a change for those where it's not so easy for them to do so. You can be that impact and be that change that they need in their lives. Does that make sense?
It does. I mean, the way that you explain it also, I love it, because really I'm hearing, when you're on your hustle, you also have this velocity that then brings other people in to their best selves, right? It's almost like a tractor beam of positivity. You're bringing them into something that's also going to be better for them.
Exactly.
So, as you self-actuate, so do those around you.
It's contagious. It's contagious. There's enough yuck in this world, enough social media yuck, enough conversational yuck. Like, shut up. Don't bring that over here. Like, keep that over there. Like, my circle, we're moving forward. We're trying to accomplish goals. We're trying to do things that make us happy and make an impact in others' lives. Like, don't come over here with all that. Like, work on it, and then you can come over here. But no, we want good energy. We want to inspire, motivate, and create opportunities.
And I love that, because it's really, you're just putting forth good boundaries.
Exactly.
It's not saying that, no, I don't want you in my sphere of influence. It's just like, I'm not going to have you here if you're going to spread something that's against my motto, my life. You know?
100%.
And your message, too, is reminding people that each one of us have value.
Yes.
Whether we're struggling, not struggling, we're in pain, not in pain. Like, it doesn't matter what state we're in, but, like, there's value in us.
Absolutely.
And that can pour out into others as well. And we can be influenced by others.
Yes. You don't have to be a therapist to make an impact in someone's life.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can enlighten someone of their value if they embrace it themselves. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that person needs a little work as well from another person. It's just let it be a domino effect.
I love it. Well, thank you for being willing to share this space and be so genuine.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You guys are beautiful. I love what you guys do. I appreciate the opportunity.
No, thank you for coming in here and sharing with us your hustle.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching, or if you were listening on your way to work, please continue to drive safe. But otherwise, thank you for paying attention to us, viewing our video. Hit the like button, hit the follow button, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great one.